Max Hall from Football Park for Channel 9 Adelaide, and we welcome to our coverage again HSV Channel 7 Melbourne, CDC Channel 7 Canberra, Channel 7 Perth, and also the ABC regional stations throughout South Australia. The news at the moment is that Richmond, 25 goals, 158 points, already have that $12,000 donated by Winfield tucked away as the champions of Australia, because Sturt still lag on 8 goals, 12, and it's all over here at Football Park. But from the tap, it's taken up by Paul Bagshaw, the very skillful skipper of the Double Blues. He hooks it down to the half-forward line. Brendan Howard loses the ball there. Little Noonan, who was very sick and sorry after Saturday's game and has run out of legs in today's match, is trying to hop into it because he's become known as a last-quarter player. That's not to detract from his efforts in the first 3 quarters, but he really lifts in the final term. I doubt whether he can do it today with those weary legs. Here he is. It's a ton of courage, this little fella. Gives it out to Klomp, who's back to centre half forward. They're hanging on to Klomp, and he'll get the free kick at half forward left. And apparently Sturt have brought their reserve on, Wally, which we felt they should have done much earlier. There's the handball across to Greenslade. It looks as though Sims is on a half-back flank. There's Greenslade kicking it forward to the full forward position. Dropped there by Francis Burke. Handball away is a good one.
Odie's down in trouble.
Kicked on by Keane. Keane down to the half-forward line. Marked here by Adcock, and Adcock will relieve the pressure for Sturt from the half-back line. Odie's up and okay again now, and perhaps he is the reason why Sturt were loath to take Casey off earlier, because obviously he was on one leg on a half-forward flank. I can't see him there, and presumably he's left the field at 3/4 time. Down towards Graham at centre wing. Handballs onto Bagshaw. Bagshaw with a beautiful pass. That's his forte. Can slap it on the chest any time with that drop pass of his from about 35 to 40 metres away, and the ball only rises about 6 to 9 feet. Another 15 metres, and Richmond have been very happy to give them away all day, because they walk at funeral march pace, as Wally May so aptly put it, back onto the mark, and by that time all the leads are covered. Although in this case it may have brought Sturt player in Greenslade just close enough to put a goal through, because he's not a bad kick. He did.
Good
his
kick.
Second.
Well done, Greenslade. He hasn't had that many opportunities. He's been on a wing. He's been half forward. He's been full forward. He's kicked his 2 goals, which puts him up with the top goal kicker for Sturt, Graham, who's kicked 2 also. 9 goals, 12 Sturt, opening the quarter reasonably well to Richmond, 25 goals, 8. Roberts is on for Richmond, and Big Balm has gone off, and Sims is on a half-back flank for Sturt, and of course Casey has gone off. He's carried a leg for the whole of the match.
And there's the former South Adelaide champion in Big Whale Roberts. It's knocked down by Sproul. Taken forward here by David Thorpe. Thorpe towards a half-forward flank. Murphy coming out to try and get it. He did it well off the half volley. Picked up well by Michael Graham. Graham has been one of Sturt's best players today. He and young Leonard have played extremely well. Wild on towards Bagshaw. And Bagshaw, as far as I'm concerned, is one of Sturt's best players as well. Mickey Noonan, who was flattened in the first quarter in the square and has never really recovered, is putting in a valiant effort in this last term. Odie knocked away by the brilliant colossal play as it goes out towards the line. Wheeling over there, Francis Burke, sure as you like.
Look at that.
Look at that, says Wally May, and just look at that. That was great.
Not that low. He kicked
That
out of
one wasn't
bounds
too
on
good.
the full, but that's about the only mistake I've seen him make today. And goodness knows how much football this bloke has played, as the short passes on from Leonard.
And it's taken by Greenslade. Greenslade has moved around quite effectively in that forward line since going to full forward. Kick over towards centre half forward, looking for Klomp. McGee, well done there by Barton, allowed Klomp to have a shot at the goals. Behind is Ricky Davies, but it's through for 1 point.
1 point will make it 9 goals, 13-67 Sturt, 25-9, 158 are Richmond. 1 goal, 3 now, kicked by, who was that?
Klomp.
Bobby Klomp.
Yes, half forward. He went to half back in 1 quarter. We've got to remember that. He's back to centre half forward.
Dick Clay's kick is not such a good one that time. Sheedy has it knocked out of his hands. Noonan over. Wild. Ogie. Clever play. On towards here. Here's the opportunity for Barton. Took too long to straighten up. And through goes the mercurial play as he kicks it clear. David Thorpe up, and David Thorpe's taken the mark.
Played well for Richmond today. He's kicked 3 goals from a half-forward flank. He's a long strider.
He's kicked down towards centre half forward behind. Clever play by Cumming. Gave it over towards Hart. Hart was got rid of it just that fraction before Mickey Noonan tackled him. There's no doubt about that. And Royce Hart, who wrote a book some years ago, wasn't one of the best sellers as far as I was concerned. Didn't bother to read it. Came off half back here by Murphy. Only because Royce told the world how good he was. Taken off hands here, given over towards Mickey Graham. Graham forward. Klomp leading out. He's a great footballer though, Royce Hart. Take nothing away from him. McGee.
Should have had the free kick, actually.
Clever play here by McGee. Cleverer play there by Bob Clump. Over it goes. Great play to Davies. Davies overtaken by Greenslade. And Francis Burke was making certain he didn't run away. And now Ross Gates will take Greenslade straight to the edge. Right to the edge of the white line.
Well, there was no doubt about it. Francis Burke had hold of his arm, had him round the waist, and he wasn't going anywhere. He wasn't allowed to play on even if he'd have wanted to. He wouldn't have. He'll belt this one through, of course. Point blank range. Greenslade kicks his third goal.
Tried to make himself one of the first players, if not the first, to kick the ball out of this concrete and aluminium stadium, the pride and joy of the South Australian Football League, known as Football Park, which has only come into being in May this year. Comment from Wally May.
Well, Sturt playing their heart out still. They're outclassed, there's no doubt about it. I don't know whether Richmond have pulled up that little bit. I wouldn't say that. But Sturt have started this quarter reasonably well. 10-13, 73 Sturt, 25-8, 158 Richmond. No chance of getting there. They've both made changes. Roberts is on and Barnes off, and Sims is on, and well, look at
Clayton waits on the bounce. There's the whale. Brian Roberts gets it down, taken out of there by Sproul. Sproul's kicked down to the half-forward line. That's Lloyd keeping the ball in front of him, and he looks diminutive against some of those Richmond players. Taken by Bartlett. Bartlett hooks it back towards centre half-forward. Michael Graham with a good mark. His official attendance today is 20,121 people to see the final of this Australian Championship here at Football Park. Punched away by Greenslade, away from the waiting hands there of Francis Burke.
Walsh coming off for Richmond.
Clayton to come on.
It's Wayne Walsh, and what a great game he's played. Tremendous.
Play on the far side of the ground. Here's Bartlett swarms to the fall of the ball again. Kicks towards centre half forward, and Royce Hart played in a final series here for the Glenelg Football Club. It didn't last long because he got floored early in the game. There's the kick towards the full forward spot, and the free kick going there against Winter for interference, and to be taken by the full forward here in Richardson.
Richardson, he's kicked 5. Doesn't make many mistakes when he gets his chances. Doesn't need that much, but when he goes for the ball, be sure. Very deliberate in his lining up for goal. 25 metres out. Low distance problems.
Ooh.
Not a good kick at all. Murphy.
5-1, in fact, he'd kicked Wally, but that wasn't one of the kicks that got him one of those 5 goals. Richmond 25-8, Sturt 10-13. We're at the 7-minute mark of the final term. Murphy goes straight down the ground. Victorian supporters will remember him playing with South Melbourne, taken by Brendan Howard. He sees a teammate in Leonard, all on his own at centre wing. The youngster streaks down, delivers it well to the full forward position. 3 Richmond players there. Francis Burke says, thanks very much, I'll have it. Heads off with the ball towards the boundary line, kicked a touch as it were, and did it cleverly and got away with it. Greenslade hoped for one moment that he might get the free kick for a deliberate force out, but not so. Brian Roberts played here with South Adelaide, also played in Western Australia, and I think he's represented 3 states at interstate football, and he's one of the few players to have done this. Ian Aitken nods in agreement. Wasn't a champion when he left here. Don't anybody tell you that, but Richmond have made him into a champion. There's the kick to the full forward spot. Whelan, one of his rare marks for the day, and he's got the chance to kick his 2nd goal for the day. He's playing his 50th game today. He kicked 108 goals for Sturt this year, kicked 106 goals last year, and as I mentioned earlier in the commentary, he's only one of 2 players in South Australia that's kicked over 100 goals in 2 consecutive seasons.
Well, that time he went over the top of Clay, who's bathed him for most of the game today. He was shifted out to centre half forward in the 3rd quarter. He's back to full forward now in the reshuffle, with Greenslade going back to a half forward flank. Sturt get another goal. 11-13, 79, 25-8, 158 Richmond. Richmond still well in control, of course. We've played nearly 10 minutes of this last quarter. Don't seem greatly concerned. Royce Hart coming around. I don't know where he's been.
Whale got the tap again. It went straight towards Bartlett. Bartlett down towards centre half forward. Knocked away well there in defence by Sims. Over towards Nelson. Wonderful sidestep by Nelson. Down towards half forward. And there's Francis Burke, and he'd be one of Richmond's better players.
Yes.
In fact, in looking at the Richmond side, best players, you could just about say Richmond. Down towards the half forward flank it goes. knocked away. Perhaps Hart was one player that hasn't been dominating all day long. Nelson and he have had a good duel. Here's one player that's played tremendous. Thorpe, another one, a beauty. This boy's played extremely well, David Cloak. But this time the mark goes to Sims. Sims out looking for Adcock. Adcock's there. A long relayed hand pass down ground towards Leonard. Down it goes, looking for Lloyd. In pursuit is Keane. Good play, Tony Lloyd. Good smother, Keane. Back he goes, keeps after the ball, Richmond. They keep that pressure on. To Wood. Tackled well, dropping the ball. A good effort there by young Leonard.
And if Sturt haven't found anything else out from this championship, they've found a future star in young Leonard. He came on Saturday, got a tremendous whack and showed courage in playing a great game, and he's repeated the dose today.
I'll say, what a tremendous effort. Here it goes. Howard forward. Went without possession. Watch the blistering place of Roberts. Howard. Actually, it was a good effort by the big fella to keep after there and keep the pressure on. I was being facetious there, and big Brian Roberts made me eat my words because he kept the pressure on, and it was a good effort by Brian Roberts.
He would have needed a battery to have moved that fast when he played here with South Adelaide, and that's how much they improve with Victorian experience.
Well, he went to Western Australia first, Max. Lee Fremantle made him, really taught him how to play the game as it comes off hands. Sheedy's over there.
For our interstate viewers, that comment come from Ian Aitken, who formerly played with Claremont. You can disregard it.
Away it goes. Sheedy, you can't disregard this fella. Around the corner goes Sheedy's kick. Good effort there by Adcock. Thorpe, great play. Taken there by Clayton. Down towards the square. Intercepted by Winter. Back it goes to Bagshaw. Bagshaw cool. Too cool and too quick for Winter. Caught him napping, but good recovery. Over towards Sims. Sims steadies. Kicks it forward. Murphy up. Couldn't take it because it was knocked away from him by David Cloak. Here's the opportunity for Leonard. Blistering place shows Young coming, but Leonard tremendous there. Over the top they go for Oti, and Oti will get it from a kick.
25-8 Richmond, Sturt 11-13. 158 points to 79. We're at the 12-minute mark of the final term in the Winfield Championship, and Richmond already putting their hand out for that $12,000 cheque. Ansett, the joint sponsors, and there were 600 people thrown into Adelaide to see this championship series over the 2 days.
Big Roberts knocks it down, taken off hands by Barton. Leach tried to go through. Murphy took it out of his hands. Good play there from Murphy. Out goes Clay.
Oh, pace, judgment, runs the risk, and when he leaves his player, he very rarely doesn't take that ball. Good play by Clay.
Dick Clay, I think, actually played on a centre wing years ago.
That's right.
Yes. Picked up here by Bartlett. Bartlett. He'll probably win their club's fairest and best. Big Mike Green couldn't get it then. Bagshaw with a change of direction. Very clever work. Down it goes. On to Graham. Graham on further. There's Noonan. Clever play by Noonan. In trouble. Too high. Free kick will have to go. By gee, I disagree with you there, Ross Capes. Never mind, the game's on. Out towards the centre wing. Sproul up there, and Sproul takes the mark.
15 metres. Correct. Sturt fans don't like it, or the South Australian fans don't like it, but umpire Ross Capes from Western Australia has shown today that he's an excellent umpire, and he's made very few mistakes on the day.
Taken there by Keane. Keane down towards the half-forward flank. Sims back there. David Cloak couldn't get it. Bagshaw can. Bagshaw will have to go straight across the face of goals. Looking out there for Leonard. Hard luck there for the young fellow. Woods is in there as well. Out goes Richardson to help him, but great play there by young Leonard, and he, if he's not Sturt's best, he'd be very, very close to it.
Could be Sturt's best for mine. He hasn't given up all day, and he's played really well, set them up many times.
Big Mike Green got the tap back there. Oti in trouble, got out of it well. Directs it out looking for Greenslade. Greenslade taking the mark. Murphy goes down round, probably 15 metres against Greenslade, but good work there by Richmond, because they knew full well that if Greenslade broke clear, Murphy was there and they'd go straight into attack.
There's the funeral march again. Back they go.
And that's the only criticism I've had of his umpiring all day. I think he should have slapped out a couple of 30-yarders, which have been warranted.
Brendan Howard on towards Noonan, and Noonan is having a good last quarter. But I'm afraid it's far too late for Sturt.
Only thing they may be able to do at this stage is prevent Richmond kicking that 34 goals that they kicked against the combined Tasmanian side on Saturday.
Down towards the square it goes. Taken off hands there by Morris. Morris goes out towards the line. Greenslade's over there. The ball gained in momentum. He kicks it back towards centre-half forward. Marked in defence by the back pocket player in young Keane.
15 metres, I would think. Yes, correct. Wild, a silly free kick given away there, and he showed his frustration. Richmond will bring it away from the centre-half back spot to the centre of the ground. In the front spot, and marking it well, Tony Lloyd, number 30 for the Double Blues, sees the lead from Michael Graham, and here's this scissors movement, which we've seen a lot from Sturt today. I think we've seen it as much as we've ever seen it from them, and was formerly associated with the Norwood Football Club. He used to love to swing it across the ground, but Sturt have done it a lot. Down to Klomp. Klomp's in the forward pocket, and he'll have a set shot for goal. Hasn't been a tremendously good kick for Sturt all the year, except that in Saturday's game in the series here, he kicked particularly well. Finished with 3 or 4 from memory. Today, he's been back to his old style, kick 1 goal 3. There's nothing wrong with this one. It's swinging, and it'll narrowly miss.
Yes, he just missed to make 11 goals, 14, 80 Sturt. 25 goals odd, I can't see for the moment. Richmond well in control, time ticking away, quarter of an hour played as they come to the grandstand side.
25 goals 8, which would indicate there's not been a great deal of pressure on them when kicking goals. Kick away from the half-back line for Richmond. Waiting for it is Brendan Adcock, all-Australian back pocket player. Sheedy stands the mark. Adcock plays onto the side, over to the centre of the ground. It was almost as if he looked for that player, their half-forward flanker, who's kicked 4 today, and Thorpe 3 or 4. Out to Bartlett. Bartlett still picking up kicks, goes to the full forward spot. Trying to trying to knock it down from behind was Winter. Going through Richmond, trying to pick the ball up now. Dropping the ball when tackled by Nelson. It's a holding the ball decision going against Hart. There they go again with the scissors movement right across the ground. Out towards Bagshaw. He'll look for a Guernsey. He's created the loose man cleverly. Wood had to come at him, and then he just dropped the handball over to Leonard. Leonard's long kick to the half-forward line. Burke appeared to be shoving Greenslade out. Burke recovers very quickly. He's played well today. Handball across to big Brian Roberts. Ooh, tried to drop it very quickly onto his boot. Lloyd again with that scissors movement. They've actually gone backward as they give it to Leonard. Leonard's kick to the half-forward line. Murphy. Francis Burke from the back. Left Murphy for dead. Centre wing, Richmond go in again towards their half-forward line. Sheedy down there, bowled over as he attempted to mark it. Picked up and taken away by Bagshaw. Despite injuries, played well.
Oh,
look
tremendous.
at the pass, right to the centre of the ground. It came off the chest of Brendan Howard, who's made a few mistakes today. He's played well, but he's also made mistakes. Kicked off the ground towards the half-forward line and taken here by Richmond's Clayton. He's the reserve who came on a few moments ago. Down towards number 14, Thorpe.
And just shows you how good David Thorpe is. He took a mark over Ricky Davies, and that's a darn good effort. Down towards centre-half forward it goes in front Adcock. Adcock still playing with all the enthusiasm of when he first came into league football. He's a tremendous player and a great club man, and holds the club record. Graham got beaten that time by Clayton, but came back in. Well, geez, played well today. He and Leonard, 2 examples.
Francis Burke again. There's another player that's played well for Richmond, if not one of their best on that half-back line. He's stopped everything that's come along. Out he goes to the outer side. Not a good kick.
Leonard in front. Play on. Wood keeps at it. Keeps it driving down towards centre-half forward. Hart in the middle. Hart beaten.
Sheedy after the free kick and does it extremely well. Plays for it, gets it. They put their arms around his neck. He said, "Thank you very much. I haven't got the ball."
How do you like this? He played in the back pocket and played in a grand final. He played on a half-forward flank and played in the grand final. Both those were premierships. A ruck rover, another premiership. So he's certainly had a star-studded career, and that kick went through for a point.
11 goals, 14 Sturt, 80, and it's 25 goals, 9, 159. There's a short pass out to Bagshaw.
Bagshaw now on the half-back flank. Sheedy and Bartlett, 2 of the products of Richmond, and there's not too many of the Richmond district. In fact, I think they're the only 2. Taken there by Michael Green. Down to Keane. Keane forward. Hart. Great footballer, rotten author. He's only 25 metres out, 19 minutes into the last quarter. And it's been a great game, and I've enjoyed it, no doubt about it, because of the skill of Richmond. Sturt were beaten. There's no doubt about that, but Richmond a tremendous side, and Hart just steered it straight through.
Left foot goes straight through the middle, and Royce Hart, who's played a reasonable game at centre-half forward, gets his first goal by my count, and he's been well held by Sandy Nelson, one of our best centre-half backs in South Australia. But that makes no difference when your side is trailing 11 goals 14, 80 to 26 goals 9, 165. 85 points the difference, and that's a thrashing in anybody's language.
Davies is back on the ball for the double blues. Appeared to get the first tap down to Barton. Barton's kick towards centre half forward. Richmond players spoil each other. Morris was in there. That's Odie, number 7, with his nose over the ball. Handball out to the side, and Richmond again will bring it away from the back pocket, although Odie's got other ideas. Number 38 for Richmond was Morris, and they bring it away from the back pocket up to the half back line to the centre of the ground. Nelson's in the front spot in front of Hart, but hitting the deck there is number 18, David Cloak. Played well.
Well, he has kicked his 3 goals, and there's his pass out into the pocket.
Down it comes, and Lloyd's got the front spot for the double blues. Handballs away. Tap back was a clever one, and the tap back again was a clever one from Clayton, the reserve. Then it's tapped on from Thorpe. On to Clayton again. Can Hart get his second? He does. He's been held goalless all day, and now he's got 2 in about 120 seconds in the final term.
The left foot goes through the centre again, and Royce Hart, captain of Richmond, centre-half forward, puts it through the middle, and it's all over bar the shouting, of course, as they go to 27 goals 9, Sturt 11-14. That makes a difference of 91 points. Richmond completely in control. Their half-back line has been extremely tight. McGee has played well, and of course Francis Burke, number 30, one of the best games I've seen from a half-back flanker from many a long day. One of Richmond's best, if not the best.
Early game today, 28 goals 12, East Fremantle, Tasmanian combined side, 10 goals 6.
Davies taking the ball out of the centre himself. He did that very well, but there was a wall of Richmond players there as Barton brings it forward down towards the half-forward flank. Long lead out there from Royce Hart. Gathers it in very well, Hart. Pressure's taken off this player somewhat, and he's starting to emerge. Winter over there. Clever play by Cumming. Read it very well. Back it goes. Taken by the big Whale. Whale has a shot at the goals. Stands on end. Sheedy couldn't get to it before it goes out of play.
Over 20,000 people here today to see the final of the Australian Championship Series, sponsored by Winfield, and Richmond will pick up that cheque for $12,000. Joint sponsors, Ansett.
What a wonderful contribution it is too for Wingfield and Ansett. It's a great game, this football product of ours, and here we have Murphy.
Victorian viewers remember this chappie playing with South Melbourne. Football in the family. He's played with 2 sides, Sturt and South Melbourne, and his father played for Collingwood.
His kick now going towards a half back flank. Taken by Bagshaw. Bagshaw, look at that. Ball wouldn't come up for him, but by G's goody, over it goes towards Sims. Howard forward. Sturt now looking like the side that they are. Onto its left foot. Down it goes. Pre-lane free kick. Whelan took the mark anyway. And Whelan to get the free kick, and that's Brendan Howard. And now Ross Capes coming back is doing what?
And he's having a word with the Victorian player, because he gave Ross Capes the Queen's way.
David Cloak.
Had a few words to say too, and I presume that was only a warning.
And that's David Cloak, only a youngster. By G's, played very well today. 3 straight goals. Whelan's shot for goal is not a good one, and through for 1 point.
And point makes 11-15. Sturt 27 goals 9 Richmond. We've got a minute or 2 to go before the time on period. All over by the shouting, of course. Dick Clay comes to the grandstand side.
Out to the back pocket. Yes, he's looking for Francis Burke, but he'll go past that player. Taken by Cloak, who was spoken to a moment ago by the umpire. Ross Capes up towards centre wing. This is Sims, who came on at the start of the final term. Handballs away. Number 43 is Clayton. This is young Barton, the rover, who also came on as reserve. Oh, he's got players coming at him all the way. It was good play to get out of that, Ian Aitken. Oh, electric heels. Michael Graham, he's done as well as any of the Sturt players today. Down to the full forward spot. Whelan's still leaping, still trying to pull in the spec. He can't do so. Richmond player there in Morris, carting away with the ball. Fumbles it, has time to come back. Barton couldn't quite grab him. No, it was Clomp. Handball up to the centre of the ground, finds Sproul. Sproul's kicked a handball away. Teammate there in Clayton. Clayton over towards the centre of the ground, and a long one to the full forward spot from behind Winter. Murphy's after it, number 13. Who's got it? It's a Victorian player. Handball over, and a shot from, hits the base of the post from only 15 metres out.
Royce Hart. Right foot kick, generally a left footer. Put on that little bit of an act and made a mess of it, hit the post, but of course no difference. 11-15-81 Sturt. And what have we got? 27 goals, 10 Richmond. The short pass comes out, picked up by Barton.
After Winter kicked in towards centre wing, Sims in the front spot, Cloak from behind. Joining issue there too was Clayton. Back towards Barton. Barton sees the Guernsey on the half-forward line. It's Noonan. He's got a player running past. Decides instead to kick into the forward pocket. Wild.
Look at that down ground, lad.
Tries to get it down to the square when he realised the player down there, Whelan, is unchecked, but Whelan not able to mark the ball, and he's been something of a disappointment in this series.
Pretty poor sort of a pass, just the same. He was there for a long, long while, and Wild didn't wake up to that fact and put down an awkward kick. But there it is, another behind on the board. 11-16 Sturt. 27 goals, 10 Richmond. Clay coming to the grandstand side, taking it easy.
Still wasn't a difficult mark, Wally. No way in the world. Out to the half-back line. Bartlett off hands. Read it beautifully. Here he goes. Always looks as though he's coasting like a true champion. He's really going very, very quickly, as you've watched. If you watch anybody trying to pick him up. There's Sheedy going towards centre half forward. Played on very quickly by Cummings. Cummings shoots it in towards the goal, but he's offline from about 35 metres out. And Kevin Sheedy not happy about that, puts his hands up to his head, and you'd think they were a point behind in a grand final, and that's probably why they're just as good a side as they are. They're perfectionists. Hafey, their coach, is a perfectionist, and it shows in everything they do. They're a great side. They blend skill with pace and aggression. Kicking, handball, they back up beautifully. Davies getting into the back of his opponent there in green, but he's allowed to take the mark, gets it on the Bagshaw. Bagshaw creates the loose man, gives it over to Howard. Howard's got it, back turns very cleverly to get through, and a shot at the goal, lines it up, but he's way offline, just squeaks in for one behind for Sturt to go to 11-17, Richmond 27-11 into the time on period. Comment from former Essendon player for the benefit of our HSV Channel 7 Melbourne viewers. Wally May.
And Bagshaw, the player that set that one up. And one of the best players on the Sturt side today has been Bagshaw. Graham Bagshaw, coming out of the back pocket, ruck rover, has played well and is still playing well in this last quarter.
Dick Clay's kick will be marked by Graham, just.
Another one of the double blue side that's kept at it all day and held his own against these professional Richmond Victorian side, which have been too good. Short pass should find Odie. No.
Odie couldn't take it. Taken by Klump. Shot in and let go by Whelan and straight through.
Clever thinking, Whelan. He realised what was happening then and in a flash and dropped his hands. He had the opportunity to mark it.
2 goals to Klump, centre half forward. He had a stint in 1 quarter on a half back flank. He's kicked 2 goals against McGee, which is not a bad effort. Richmond have swapped their side around a little bit. Hart's gone into a forward pocket. I don't know whether he's hurt himself. Sandy Nelson has got another player to watch the changing ruckman, and McGee is back in the back pocket watching the ruckman. But this makes no difference when you're as far in front as Richmond are. 12-17 Sturt, 27-11 Richmond.
2 goals, 3 Richmond have added in this last quarter, and Sturt have added 4 goals, 5. Howard there, given plenty of time to get rid of the ball, and umpire Capes, who really hasn't made too many mistakes today, gives the free kick, and it goes in favour of Clayton. Wells blocked there by Howard, but Clayton back, Sproul, Keane, Morris, it was not Keane, Leonard, Graham and Bagshaw, the 3 best for Sturt. Knocked aside was Mickey Noonan, taken by McGee. Away it comes. They work it off the half-back flank through Clayton, down towards centre half forward, looking down there for Hart. Wasn't taken. Knocked on very intelligently by David Cloak. He's kicked 3 goals. Winter's over there. Bounces awkwardly. Back goes Cloak. Sims there as well. Sheedy will be there. Back it goes over towards Nelson. To Odie. Odie steadying. Bad kick. This allows Roberts to get his teeth well and truly into that ball then. Over it goes. Taken by Keane to Sproul. Odie. Sturt to Graham. Graham's kicked towards a half-forward flank, looking across there for Noonan. He'd be very, very tight because, as you saw in the replay in the first quarter, he was felled very heavily. Looks over towards Leonard. Leonard's got a player coming at him.
Well done.
Oh, great play by Leonard. Taken now by Klomp. Klomp lines up the goals, punches it in, and it goes across the face of goals and out of bounds in the left full forward pocket.
Richmond 27-11, Sturt 12-17, 173 points to 89. We've had 4 minutes of time on, and again repeating that we're relaying this from Channel 9 in Adelaide to Channel 7 in Melbourne, Canberra and Perth. Also the ABC regional stations throughout South Australia.
Roberts there, as you saw, interfered with, and
Oh,
there's
Francis
Burke just dropped the ball down. Roberts gives it a little bit of a help towards the line. It didn't make any difference because they're right towards the line, and Greg Wild should have no trouble. And that's Francis Burke right there. He's played a tremendous game all day long today, Francis Burke, and has earmarked himself as the true champion that he is. He's been around for a long time, Francis Burke, and what a tremendous player he is. And this time Wild lifts it high and kicks it right into the back of the public stand over there. That takes Sturt along to 13 goals, 17, and that's what, Greg Wild's first goal.
Yes, I agree with you, Ian. In fact, I would put Francis Burke as Richmond's best player today.
Yes.
Has not made a mistake on the half-back flank, beat 2 or 3 opponents, never stops, runs on, works on the umpire all day. He's given away a few 15 metres, but they do this on purpose, of course. And Francis Burke, best player for Richmond as far as I'm concerned today.
Tremendous performance by Francis Burke. A lot of people leaving the ground. Roberts, Davies, intercepted by Sproul to Sheedy. Look at that. Magical football by Kevin Sheedy. Down towards centre half forward, but it's Nelson. Nelson out towards a half forward flank. Lloyd's over there. Tony Lloyd has had a tremendous season. He's one of the superstars of the future for Sturt as he drives it down. Ground wheeling up the front, nearly took a magic mark, couldn't get to it, goes after it again. Good work there, taken by Barton, pushes it out but intercepted by that brilliant footballer in Burke. Burke away. Raking kick out for Michael Green, a superb kick. Back it goes, taken over there by Clayton. Clayton, who came on in the last quarter, bounces his way past a very tired Sandy Nelson, has a long shot at the goals. It goes right towards the line. Richardson's over there, but it's marked in the last line of defence by Bruce Winter. Richardson, who hasn't played a tremendous amount of football over the last couple of years. There's the siren. That's it. That's the Australian Championships finished. It's been won by Richmond of Victoria. 27 goals, 11 Richmond. Sturt 13-17.